Jain Center in Leicester. It has become major tourist attraction of city of Leicester, plus place of pilgrimage for Jains. It's beautiful. If you get a chance, visit there.
Yeah.
They are making it here in London as well. And hopefully within 2 years, it will be completed or there'll be installation ceremony.
That's quite something.
And this center, for example, will tell something about this center. But when you come to London, please visit us. That's the best way.
Yes. I'd really like to, yes.
I'm involved in the interfaith movement for more than nearly 30 years. Member of Interfaith Network UK, trustee of Interfaith Network of UK.
Yes, yes.
And plus, we work with all in that people from Wales come, people from Scotland come, Northern Ireland come, everybody comes. Yeah. This is how we work together.
Yeah.
When I used to visit schools, I had to visit Jain Centre Leicester, naturally to children, for example, when I say, if you, especially Christian children, if you believe Christ has conquered himself, then all true Christians are Jains as far as we are concerned, and vice versa. As simple as that.
Yes. Today,
in Leicester, our first administrator was a Christian clergyman. You won't believe. Wow. For 3 years. That's a real cooperation, isn't it?
Yes. But today,
working for us, and part-time he was working for Leicester Diocese. Yeah, are you by the birth Christian Jew or by birth?
By birth, by upbringing, yes.
Yeah. Now let us introduce to you. What's your name and other thing? You are a scientist?
My name is Tim Syme.
Mm-hmm.
And I ran a retreat centre in West Wales, which I'll talk about today, for 6 years, from 2000 to 2006.
Yeah, and that is a retreat centre which is a good thing.
Yeah, and from 2002 to 2006, Swamiji stayed 6 times to conduct workshops. So,
wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
The Paryushan sacred days are just like a retreat to come back to what you are, to your soul.
So can you say that again?
I'll tell you, Paryushan days, they're sacred days, they're spiritual days, not for enjoying like holy or other things, you know. And our objective of that, during the whole year, we have done because of our activities, and worldly activities. We had a lot of karmas we were attracted. That attracted karmas have to be removed and bring the soul in its purified state. That's this 8 days retreat. We call retreat, or we call sacred days, or we call holy days. Whatever. Coming back to your soul.
Yes.
In what it was 1 year back, at least.
Yes. Wow.
And that's the whole meaning. And then there are different things that have been attached to it. I'll talk when we introduce a little bit on Paryushan today.
Nattu, Tim himself has wrote the book on the flow of consciousness.
Wonderful.
And there's another book is going to publish soon. Tim will give more on that.
Wonderful, wonderful. And in fact, meditation is the most important thing. Consciousness is the most important. And what is soul? Soul is just a consciousness, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
You can't see it.
No, you can't see it.
Yeah. But still it is there. It is permanent.
Yeah.
There's a consciousness.
Yes.
And I think, where do you live in Wales? Do you go to Cardiff?
No, I live in West Wales, right on the coast.
Yeah, near the coast.
Near
Professor Johnson, he's in University of Wales. He has written a book on soul.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, look that
I'll
up.
let you know exactly what is the name of the book, etc.
Yes, that'd be good.
Yeah, and it will be nice if you go to Cardiff, or if he comes that side, meet each other.
Yes, that'd be great. And I'll just mention that you mentioned about Christians. Today I'm going to talk about the connection between Swamiji and a Welsh 6th century Christian saint.
Sure. In fact, there is much more common between Christianity and Jainism. The reason Christ was a great soul.
Yes,
yes. And in fact, there are some proofs in Tibet, etc. When 6 years, for example, before don't find where he was in India, and for 2 months he stayed in Jain, near the Jain temples, Jain retreat centers. There's a lot of effect is there. But all knowledge was coming from within, which is you have got, I have got, everybody has got.
Oh,
but
wow.
Clouded by our own actions.
Yes,
Karma.
yes, yeah.
And, it will be very interesting to, when your book comes, just to read your book.
Good.
We will be going live in 3 minutes. We still have 3 minutes. So
Can you see me or?
no, we cannot see you, Tim. We can only see the name.
Should I see if I can?
See if you can on your camera would be nice. So that we can.
Is it start video?
Yeah, the video. Yeah, you can start the video. Yeah.
Hang on. There we are.
Yes. Yeah, we can see you.
Good.
Okay, it's 11 o'clock and we're going live. Jai Jinendra, and welcome to the online meditation. I'll be talking about a few things today. Before we start with, there is a message which was written in Himalaya Samarpan Yoga by Swamiji. I'll be reading that and followed by our all sessions continues. In our life, Paramatma keep telling us, the road is closed for you, and you have to walk this path. In the future, Paramatma never shuts all the doors. He shut down one road now and opens another one. Actually, we become used to walking on our own path, so we get attached to that path. Paramatma never shuts the road of anyone. He changes the direction of path. To make a second new road, he always shut down some road. Shutting down one road always means the opening of new one. One is disturbed when one see closed road, but one does not feel happy when one sees a new road. Actually, a road never closes. Paramatma gives life a twist. So this is a wonderful message for Swamiji that is always there is, if you are positive, there is Paramatma guides you and it always guides you in the new direction and as to take opportunity and take it positively, you always find a way out. Now, next one, Jain Center invites everyone on an occasion of Paryushan Mahaparva celebration by the Jain Network, starting from Saturday, 15th of August 2020 to Saturday, 22nd of August 2020. The sessions as follows. 9 a.m. to 10:30, there will be a Sanatra Puja. 11 a.m. to 12:30, there will be a Vakhanan by Jain Acharya Padma Bhushan Ratnasuri Sundar Maharaj Sahib Ji. Pratikaman will be held at 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Pre-registration is required. Virtual Bhakti Havan at 8 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. organized by Sangeet Shimarao Sri Narendra Vanigota. Jain Center strictly follows the government guidelines for the place of worship. We welcome for any sponsors and Nakra contact Jayshree Ben Modi and Neeta Ben Shah. Any voluntary wishes to join, take part of Paryushan Mahaparva, kindly contact me or a Jain Center office for any update. If anyone wants to take a part of this event, please do contact us. Let me welcome the founder and the CEO, a man behind the vision of our iconic project, Dr. Natubhai Shah.
Thank you very much, Paras. Soon the Paryushan will be coming. And what is a Paryushan, for example? All Jains, wherever they are in the world, they look forward for the Paryushan. As Swamiji has said, from Atma to Paramatma. This is step for making from Atma to Paramatma. This is the main thing. During the, is one of the most important Parva. Why I say Parva rather than days, for example? It is always, Jain Parvas are always spiritual in nature. While when we think about other Parvas, for example, Holi or Diwali, etc., they are more for celebration. And when you celebrate for your physical pleasures, then again you have a karma, and that karma you have got to get rid of it. And what is the Paryushan is whatever we have got the karma for the whole year, whatever attached to our soul, to get rid of these karmas. Jain scriptures or Jain sires have created 8 days of Paryushana, and on different things are done. There's a period of meditation, fasting, and forgiveness. And simple ways, if I tell you, what happens in your Paryushan? They normally, when do they come? Their days are not fixed. But one thing our scriptures say, it should be, India is a country where monsoon is fixed more or less. And it should not be 1 hour, 1 year, or 1 month and 10 days before the starting of the monsoon. And so that when people, there's a time between Vavani, that means sowing the seeds, etc., Kheti, and then Lalni, that means taking the crops. And when you are free for a week or two, that's the time Paryushan should come so that everybody can listen. And the monks and nuns also, when they are there for 4 months, they will not move from one to another, and they will be fixed at one place so that people listen and about Paryushan. What do we do in Paryushan? Because it's a mystery to other faiths. We celebrate 8 days. 8 days, first 3 days, when we celebrate, we tell them about their daily duties, yearly duties, and lifetime duties. The first day, we call Amari Parvartan. That means total non-violence in life. Jains are supposed to have friendship to all and malice to none. That's what is all. And, as, as far as humanly possible, they should not be involved in killing even one sense creature as far as possible. As a result, many Jains fast for 8 days, some fast for 3 days, some 1 day, etc. Some day. The idea is to control your physical nature, that is spiritual, physical nature, and go into spirituality. Many people read sacred books, then we read scriptures, and be in meditation all the first time. Second day is a yearly duty. What we Jains should do every year. I will not go in detail, but that is described 11 duties. In and third duty at the moment is a Sadharmik Vasalya. Sadharmik, we should try to help all fellow Jains. Jains, and my definition of Jain is slightly different. Anybody who tries to conquer himself or herself is a Jain. That means it may be born in any community, it doesn't make any. Even one sense creature also. We should try to help them, whatever for their physical needs, guide them on spiritual needs as well. And then forgiveness. Forgiveness is the most important thing. During the whole year, if you have done something, thought about anything bad about anybody, or done some physically something wrong, or we should try go there, contact him or her, and ask for forgiveness. And whether they give forgiveness or not is a different thing, but we should ask for forgiveness. That is called Samarpan. Then there's Atam. As I said, people, we are supposed to do 3 fasts during Paryushan time. Jain fast is slightly different. Sometimes it is 36 hours. Some people during fast don't take any water. Some people take only boiled water during daytime. At night, they don't take anything. Unlike this, many people, even young people, have fasted 8 days without water. It's a question of controlling your consciousness or spiritual nature. And nothing happens. Those people are very, very healthy. And then there is one other thing nearby. There are temples we call Chaitya Paripati. Every Jain goes there. We are supposed to go there. The idea of going there is not only worshipping the people. We don't say idol worship. We don't believe in idol. But there is an example to us. But at the same time, if we give some sort of money or some dhan, so that helps the other temples as well. And these are 5 for 3 days. And then 4th day onwards, our sacred granth or sacred scripture, we call Kalp Sutra. Kalpa means, and that is being read. In that, lives of different Tirthankars are described. Mahavir's life, Mahavir was the 24th and last who revived Jainism. And he was 30 years older than Buddha. Lived 599 to 527. His whole life is here. On the 5th day, we celebrate the reading, for example, his birth. People have what Trishna Mata, Mahavir's mother, had dreams. We show them and we depict their dreams. Then we celebrate his birth. People enjoy, whole community gets together. And it is a very, very nice thing worth being a part of, On 6th, 7th, and 8th day, then we have other 3 Tirthankars whose life also. Mahavir's life is described in whole day. And then it is read also on 7th day. And then first Tirthankar, Tirthankar means person who finds the simplest way to be Paramatma from Atma. That is in simple way, to be a Paramatma. That is what we do it. First, Tirthankar Rushabdev. The modern civilization, what we call it. In this cycle, it was started from Rushabdev. And Rushabdev and Shiva, for example, what we call Hinduism, there is much, much more common. And some people say he was the same person. Shiva and Rushabdev were the same person. Then Rushabdev, Neminath's life, Parshanath was 250 years before Mahavir. His life also be described shortly. Mahavir's life is full. And then Neminath, who was a cousin of Krishna, Lord Krishna, that also be described. And then after that, what the Mahavir's followers, the great monks, were also omniscient up to 200 years after Mahavir. Their life also be described. But it is a period of fasting and forgiveness. And our last day is Samvatsari. Every Jain does it and ask for forgiveness to each other. Not only that, they also go to the person whom we have spoiled something. And there are many examples that we told in these Vyakhans or sermons, the great Acharya Ratna Sundar Sri will describe. We have got two main sects, Svetambar and Digambar. Digambar does, after finishing, when we finish, they do 10 days. Each day they have reserved for what virtue of the pure Atma, and they meditate on that. And this is how we celebrate Parushan. And I hope you all will join us, whatever it is. Jains don't believe in caste, creed, or color. If you observe same, as far as we are, everybody Jain. Jain means, and the word Jain has come only 6th century AD. It has come before that. Jain word was not there. We try to conquer ourselves. That is what we do. And I think we are making a Jain center, which is a place of in London, Colindon, London. This is a place of worship for all Jains, all major traditions of Jainism, and second floor. And it's white marble, beautiful, 10,000 square feet. And ground floor and first floor is for all communities. It's a community center where we can meditate, enjoy, and other thing. And we are making a multi-phase center so that it becomes a resource center, library, and everybody can welcome there. And quickly, the slides will be shown by Paras. What is happening? Paras, can you quickly?
Yes.
Automatic.
So this is the Jain network, the center which has been constructed in at the Colindale. So we'll play the CD, the PPT now.
You can carry on automatic.
Yeah.
What we want to provide worship and study for everybody. Om Rim Shiva 100 which is first of its kind in the world. It will be a global hub to promote the values of Jain. This is the work going on at the moment. Next. This is second floor, as I've described different things. And I think we have put on website. The architecture will be modern, beautiful architecture. Jains are known for their architecture. Next. These are different kind of great people or Tirthankars, and their statues will come. This is open to everybody, big hall, which can be Microsoft and multi-phase center. This will describe slightly in a bigger way. When we are making a video, all can have 400 people. Then ground floor. Next, the big reception room, welcoming place, which you can see. And all modern design. There's a restaurant, stroke cafe as well, which can take 100 people. This you can see slightly better. We are trying to make a video. This is a photographs when we are taking video. Car parking for it will, when finished, it will look like that, which you can see. Yeah. At the moment we are phase 2, we are making total project is nearly 9 to 10 million pounds, including land plus carvings. next. And then how we will maintain for next 5 years we have written. Then and how one can help also. That way we have written. One can help by joining as a member. There are any can be a member, no restriction at all. Then helping building work, taking bricks. Bricks is 100 pounds. Somebody can take 5, 10 pounds. This is how community builds. And there are religious activities, there are community activities. This is what we are trying to do. And we have joined to nearly 13 to 14 organizations. We represent Jains at the highest level. And we welcome everybody to join in this civic center. So for further information can be found on the website. Thank you very much. Let us enjoy our meditation.
Thank you, Natubai. I'll be soon sharing one more thing. This is the detail of the position which is taking place, just to see the whole activity, so that people can arrange themselves. And also for more details, as it's on website and contact number is there, so they can come on YouTube live. It will be on Zoom as well, so people can take the most of it. Okay, now let me welcome the Tim. We cannot see your video for some reason. Can you on your video?
I
Hang
can
on,
see.
it's just
It is on, I think.
The video is not coming up for some reason.
yeah, it's that circle's moving round and round.
Probably maybe the internet, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe
Okay,
not as good as in London.
okay, let me welcome Samarpan meditation speaker Tim Semi. He has written a book on the flow of consciousness. I will just share the screen so that people can able to see. And there is another book which is currently in process, so he will give more information about it. Let me take to Tim if he may manage to get his video on. Let me see. Tim, I think probably maybe after video may come after. Probably if you want to start talking, would that be okay? Can you hear me?
Yeah, the problem is the broadband is.
Yeah, we can
gone.
see now. Okay, yeah, 1 minute. Yes. Okay. So, Tim, you can we can all see and we can hear you as well. You can take it from there. Thank you, Tim.
Today, I'd like just to focus on Swamiji's connection with an early Christian Welsh saint. I was manager of a residential retreat centre in St David's, West Wales from 2000 to 2006. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you very clearly and we can see you as well.
Okay. Which is perched on a hill above the St David's Cathedral Close, which is a very beautiful valley in West Wales. And it's also the site of St David's 6th century monastery. St David is the patron saint of Wales, and he lived in an era known as the Age of Saints in Wales, which lasted from about the 5th to the mid 7th century, an era where an early form of Christianity appeared to flourish. And it was a Christianity very different to the Church of Rome. It was deeply influenced by the Desert Fathers and Mothers, who from the 3rd century AD onwards either fled persecution or voluntarily went to the Egyptian desert to be closer to nature. They lived their lives either in isolation, in hermitage, as hermits, or in monastic settlements. I got an inquiry for a booking from a guru in India. The inquiry was in 2001 for 4 weeks the following autumn. And it so happened I had spaces available for the last 2 weeks of September and the first 2 weeks of October. So I made the booking. And I later learned that when Swamiji was staying in a house near Cardiff in 2001, after supper, he had a vision of a saint. And he didn't know who it was, but he described the saint in some great detail. And his hosts, Nimala and Raju, did some research, and they discovered that it was almost certainly St. David, hence the booking in 2002. So Swamiji arrived mid to late September in 2002, we sorted out his room that evening, and in the morning I met him in the chapel, which is a meeting place for all the groups who stayed there, and he was really interested in Penru, its history as a nunnery and a priory, and in the groups who stayed there. And I'll just say briefly, I showed him around the grounds, and we walked down through the woods to the river, and he sat on the bench and asked me and Raju, who was interpreting, to go about 50 yards. And he explained that he was going to expand his aura, and then he would beckon us to walk towards him. And after a while, he said that we couldn't walk any further. And I walked with Raju, and when Raju stopped, I stopped because it seemed rude to go any further. And Swamiji asked me if I felt, and I really wasn't sure, but in retrospect, what I can remember now is a kind of radiance around him and his beaming smile. And then he asked me if I'd noticed a breeze had sprung up, and it had. I'd noticed how still it was walking down to the river, and it was a lovely, gentle breeze with a sort of rustling of autumn leaves in the clear morning air. Swamiji's Shibirs, the weekend retreats, would last from Thursday evening when people arrived to Sunday afternoon when people left. And it meant that in between the retreats, there was time to spend time with him, to ask him questions and to visit places. And on the Wednesday of the first week, after the first weekend, we made our first visit with Swamiji to St. Non's, which is on the coast near St. David's. It's got a holy well, a place of medieval pilgrimage, a ruined chapel, which is said to be the reputed birthplace of St. David, and the chapel is in the middle of a scattered remains of a Bronze Age stone circle. So we followed Swamiji to the ruined chapel, and when he got to the gate, instead of walking in, he stopped and slumped over the gate for possibly about 50 minutes, and then he simply stood up and we drove back to Penru. And I later asked him why he did this, and I've got a quote here. He said, "When we begin to connect with the energy, we wait for what the energy indicates. If the energy indicates that we enter such a place, we do so. And if it does not indicate this, then we do not. We surrender to the energy and follow accordingly." And on his next visit to St. Non's, he walked straight in, and St. Non's became one of his favourite places to visit, both with the groups and kind of privately between retreat weekends. And in a way, Swamiji's connection with St. David, following that vision, appeared to be like a developing and deepening friendship, rather than a complete and sudden revelation. And he stayed at Penru 6 times, and over the years, this connection with St. David seemed to deepen. And it wasn't actually only with St. David's energy that he connected at St. Non's. There was one morning the following year when I was in the dining room, and Swamiji almost burst into the room, and he said, I've just connected with ancient peoples at St. Non's. And he said, it's just like being with the ancient Aryan tribes of the Himalayas. And then he said in English with great enthusiasm, I love talking about God. On the third weekend, I joined in a session on the lawn at dusk, where he gave a short discourse, and then he called up the energy of St. David. There were about 20 of us in a semicircle. And as he did so, in the fading lights, I could somehow both see and feel 2 tiny flowing lines of white energy flowing towards me. And one hit my right hand first, and then the other one hit my left hand and threw me on my back. And it was the most beautiful experience of energy I've ever had. It felt benign, knowing and contented, and had a very deep human element to it, but also a kind of shyness, but also a deep contentment. It seemed from somebody who'd been kind of through everything and found this wonderful deep contentment. And a couple of years later, I asked Swamiji St. David to be liberated if he'd taken moksha, and Swamiji said yes. There were lots of experiences during his visits, but I'll mention one. In April 2004, he asked me if one day if I had a tent, and it so happened I bought a tent for me and my son, a 2-man tent for me and my son, the year before, and together with my maintenance man, we managed to find all the bits and pieces in the garage. Tent's been lent out a few times, so it seems we're missing a bit, but we managed to find it. So it took us some time to put the tent up. And as soon as we started putting up the tent, so immediately came out, his bedroom overlooked the lawn, where we were pitching the tent, and stood in front of the tent for 5 to 10 minutes, apparently fascinated. And he did this 2 more times during the day, or during the time we were putting up the tent. Then at supper, he said, after supper, it finished, there were about 5 of us in the dining room, and he said, tonight I'm going to meet St. David in the tent because he's too shy to come into the house. And he said, a storm will come up, and if you look out at the tent at 4 o'clock the following morning, all you'll be able to see is white light. And the atmosphere was really building in the dining room, so something was really going to happen. And after a while, it became too much for me, so I went upstairs to my room and set the alarm for 3:30 and went to sleep. The next thing I knew, I woke up and it was 8 o'clock in the morning, and I instantly realised that what had happened, and that I must have the alarm must have gone off, and I must have switched it off and gone back to sleep. So I hurriedly went downstairs to ask what had happened, and Jaya had taken her out there at midnight, and both sheltering with an umbrella, and left him there. And she said that he came back in after an hour without saying too much. Later on that day, I asked Swamiji, what had happened, and he said it didn't work out. Then he said it was because the tent was too small for both their auras, and he also said he had trouble with the tent zip, and he would have preferred a natural material for the tent. And then he said, next time, a bigger tent. And it so happened 7 months later, at his 50th birthday celebrations at Penroof, we had a large marquee. And on the first day, somebody asked if he could call up the energy of St. David, and he agreed. And he went into a very deep trance, and we had a lot of problems bringing him out of the trance. Then in his most recent visit in 2016, Swamiji seemed to have a very deep connection with the 6th century in Wales, time of St. David. There's a church we visited near St. David where we walked in. He said the energy of the saint here is 6th century, and I later kind of worked out it was a 6th century saint, contemporary of St. David. And we went to Llandaff Cathedral, where there's the relic of a saint called St. Tyler. And the first thing he said was, there is an energy, the energy here is of a 6th century saint. It is yet to be confirmed that the energy in the relic is of St. Tyler, but by the end of the visit, it had been confirmed. And in visiting many churches over the years, it seems to be that the churches have to have an ancient foundation for Swamiji to connect with the energy. Anything after the 7th century, it just doesn't seem to have that special sacred energy for him. And it was in the 7th century that the Church of Rome imposed their authority finally. But finally, I just want to say that it's wonderful that a liver from India can connect so deeply with a 6th century early Christian saint of Wales. And it's another way of showing really that this meditation is universal. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Tim, for sharing your lovely experience. Now, what we'll be going for the next one, we'll be doing our meditation. So let me take in from there. Let me guide you all to the process of how to connect to the meditation. Few things which you can do. Light a candle if you can. It is optional. But if you light a candle, it will burn your thoughts and stays your thoughtlessness. If possible, please try to be seated on the ground comfortably with your back straight. People who cannot sit on the ground can sit on the chair or a sofa and put your feet connected to the ground. Mother Earth. Please sit calmly. We will play the meditation CD, which will have an invitation to the positive energy. We can all repeat after Swamiji. After inviting a positive energy, we have to sit calmly. At the end of the music, there will be a prayer which we can all repeat together. And then there will be a special prayer in the collectivity of pure soul for the development of Jain Center. If you can all follow after me, please. Kindly put your palm facing towards the sky on your knees. Please take your right hand slowly on the top of your head. Press it gently. Move it clockwise direction 3 times. This will help you to put your attention on your crown chakra. Close your eyes slowly and bring your hand back to the same position.
गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरा गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। मेरे साथ ध्यान की शुरुआत करेंगे। मैं एक पवित्र आत्मा हूँ। मैं एक शुद्ध आत्मा हूँ। मैं एक पवित्र आत्मा हूँ। मैं एक शुद्ध आत्मा हूँ। मैं एक पवित्र आत्मा हूँ। मैं एक शुद्ध आत्मा हूँ। तो अपने चित्त को तालुआ पर रख के ध्यान करें। प्रार्थना करेंगे। हे परमात्मा, हम सभी पवित्र आत्माएं आपको हृदय से प्रार्थना करते हैं कि सारे विश्व में शांति हो, सारे विश्व के आत्माओं की आध्यात्मिक उन्नति हो एवं सर्वांगीण उन्नति हो। यही हम सब आत्माओं की शुद्ध इच्छा है। नमस्कार करेंगे।
We'll pray for the development of Jain Center, London. हम सभी पवित्र आत्माएं आपको सच्चे हृदय से प्रार्थना करते हैं कि जैन सेंटर लंदन के विकास का काम जल्दी से जल्दी पूरा हो और सभी को इसका लाभ हो। यही हम सभी पवित्र आत्माओं की शुद्ध इच्छा है। Let's everyone do the Shanti part. If we can all repeat after me, please. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. I'll be doing the vote of thanks. I want to thank Dr. Natubai Shah and all trustee and management of Jain Network for your support. Thank you, Tim, for your experience sharing. Thank you, Samarpan Meditation UK and Sri Gopalan Swami Foundation India for the support. Thank you all for joining. We have a regular meditation session taking place. In London, it's every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. In Somerset, it starts on Monday, Thursday, and Sunday at 7:30. Newport, there is a group meditation takes place every Tuesday at 8:30. There's a JCO online at every day. Starts in the morning 5:30, 6:15 in the morning as well, and then 8:30 in the evening. So anyone wishes to join via online through Zoom, contact me. I can share the details for the links. Let me share you the details so that at least you get an idea. So it's a web portal, is joincollectivityonline.com. So where we can connect through at your home and be a part of it, doing a meditation online. So you will see the details. It's a very simple website, joincollectivityonline.com. And you can, at your home, you can connect to the meditation simply by sitting at home. By a dedicated time, you can connect yourself. This is our last session. We will not be continuing the next two sessions. We will be coming back after that. So I wish everyone to join, do your meditation at your home every day and connect to your inner soul. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Tim, and thank you, Natubai.